If you're a fitness coach or you're a fitness sales rep, there's no reason why you shouldn't watch this entire YouTube video in full, because today I'm going to be breaking down a live sales call example in front of my clients where I am taking a fitness coaching prospect, someone who's looking to lose weight, from discovery all the way to the pitch to handling literally every single objection in the book. So if you're struggling with handling objections as a fitness coach or a fitness sales rep and you know that you're letting deals slip through your fingers, I would have a pen and paper. I would take a bunch of notes, because not only am I gonna be showing you the live call, but I'm gonna be showing you me breaking it down. So talking about, what are the questions I'm asking? What is the psychology behind why I'm even asking these questions? And how does the end of the call correlate to the beginning of the call, and how I use that to literally obliterate every single objection he's given me at the end of the call. So with that being said, let's go and jump right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's call is actually going to be baller for you, because this is going to be a live fitness coaching sales call breakdown. You jumped in right after I explained it, but today we're going to be breaking down a live fitness coaching sales call. Intro to pitch to objection to financing to another objection to the close. So we'll be
Oh,
breaking
sweet.
that down. Yeah, does anybody have any questions before we jump in? All right,
Yeah,
sweet.
got a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously like his objection was about, how he wouldn't have any gas money, but like, how do you think you'd handle that objection today with gas prices being like, $5 a gallon?
I wouldn't even handle the objection at that point. I'd be like, yeah, you're right, dude. All right, well, let's go and jump in and break it down. Make sure to take notes, guys, and then we'll cover some Q&A. Write down some questions on what why maybe I said a certain thing, or what you guys thought was helpful. But let's give it a go. Very good. There's no Google Meet where it limits my meeting numbers. Anyways, I want to start off with some metrics for you, Nate, and then I want to talk about a little bit of your motives and just see if it's realistic for us to help you. So, how tall are you? Okay. How often do you eat out? So we transitioned from Google Meet to Zoom, so I already covered a little bit of the intro and agenda. So now we're just getting into discovery.
Eat out once or twice on the weekends, maybe once or twice on the weekdays. So it could range from like 4 maybe 5 times a week. If I'm being realistic, it's probably closer to 5.
Okay, so you're eating out about 20 times a month.
Can you do the math? Yeah.
Okay. And then you guys able to hear this clearly? All right. How often do you go to the gym?
I'm shooting for at least 3 times a week.
Okay. And then I know you said you want to get down to 215. Is that like your actual goal? Or you have like a number where you're like, my goodness, it'd be amazing if I could get down to this number, but it's like unrealistic for you. Like, what's your like actual goal? If it's 215, that's fine, but I want to know like what your actual motivation is.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've been down to 200. And I know that probably with my height, I don't think if I was anything like still above 200, I still would be super lean. I feel like it would only be like, I want to get down far so that way I would look good, but I don't want to be like super skinny. If that makes any sense. But I don't feel like I would be if I was still 200.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
So your main goal is 215.
215.
Okay, cool, man. Well, so I'll give you a little bit of context. So most of our advanced coaching clients that work directly with Jacob, they're in his inner circle. Once they join, they lose about 10 to 15 pounds a month. So for you, I mean, if you were able to get down to the point where you're 215ish, how would that change things for you overall? Like, what would be different?
Confidence would be higher. I would start loving the way I look. I'd be wanting to go out more just so I can be seen. I would be so much more confident in myself. I know I'd start focusing.
So I'm going goals first here. I'm asking what would be different if you got down to 215, and then I'm going to hear everything that would be different, and all I have to do is I have to look at the opposite to see what is the pain that he's experiencing right now. So if he's saying he's going to be much more confident if he gets down to 215, that means he doesn't have the most confidence right now, which he's indirectly telling me that.
More being in the moment. I'd enjoy social interactions, being more social, being out and seen. It would also bring just that mental peace and clarity of like I finally taken action for myself. It would do more than just make me feel happy about myself.
Yeah.
It would bring that mental clarity.
Yeah. What about like your social interactions would change? Like the way that you feel when you go out? What would be different for that person versus who you are now?
I honestly would try new clothes and things that I wouldn't feel confident before, but like things I would absolutely want to see myself in, but didn't think I could wear.
Give me some examples, bro. Like, this is where it gets fun. Like, what are those things that you say you would try that you're not doing right now?
I hate wearing tanks, but I always wanted to have something where I could show off my arms and be.
Wow, one of my favorite questions. Give me an example. You can use this in a real life scenario.
Give me some examples, bro. I hate wearing tanks, but I always wanted to have something where I could show off my arms and be happy about it. And so I always wanted to like look good in like a tank. You know what I mean? But like I hate it. I'd only wear like a sleeveless or show off arms or anything when I'm working out, or like if I after a pump, I wouldn't just do it just because I like how my arms look. And so I've actually been thinking about that a lot recently. How I've wanted to wear something like that, or shorts that weren't like baggy because I like how my quads look, or just things I felt confident that like I could throw on and just happy about it. Yeah, that's awesome. It's fun to think about because the reality is, man, it's not unrealistic. I think with the proper coaching and with the direct mentorship for someone who's actually already done it, like someone like Jacob, who's not only done it for himself, but he's helped his brother in a similar way, like Ryan. I don't know how close you've been following those videos on YouTube, but it's not crazy at all, right? Yeah. But let me ask you this, Nathan. Why is it time for you to start taking this a little bit more seriously now? Like you put it off for the last 7 years or so. Why do you feel like now is the time for you to make a change versus putting it off for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years? Why now? Is hit me recently. I was talking to my girlfriend and my family because I turn 25 next month. My birthday's next month, and it hit me that I'm going to be 25 and I'm not going to be close to that weight that I lost when I was in high school. Right. And it's like it hit me that I tried so hard and achieved so little that I'm like, it's just a breaking point. I need to change. And as much as I thought I could do this on my own, I couldn't. I didn't realize how much time had passed. And I did the opposite. I didn't just stay there again a little bit of weight. I gained like 50 pounds. I got to 265. So it hit me recently that I'm like, I'm going to be 20 or 25 and I'm going to hate the way I look. I'm going to be either going out with my girlfriend, my family, and they're going to take pictures. I'm going to hate how those pictures look. I might breathe out. I might still wear a hoodie just because. And I don't want to hide in clothes. I don't want to feel like I need to hide myself. Right.
So he's really opening up here. Like this is exactly where we want to be in discovery.
And you don't just want to like repeat the past plus more. And you don't want to empathy, but on it, you want to do something different. Right. Well, listen, man, I think based on Nathan, what you shared with me, where you are now, where you want to get to, reasons why you want to do it. I think it'd be a great fit for what you do. I think it'd be a great fit to be part of.
So now I'm transitioning into the pitch.
Jacob's inner circle, like part of his direct group, people that he's connecting with all the time. And the reason I say that, by the way, I don't say that to everybody, by the way. The reason I say that because, sometimes I'll have people that, live up on calls, and they'll be like, I want to lose 10 pounds that way, I can see my six pack a little more. Or, I want to lose 10 pounds that way, my muffin top isn't there. But, you're saying, I want to go down from 265 to 215, I want to lose 50 pounds, so that way my quality of life isn't reduced. I want to lose 50 pounds, that way I'm not as pure anymore. I want to lose 50 pounds, that way I'm not 25.
Notice how I'm firing back everything that he's told me as I'm going into the pitch. That's to keep it top of mind for him and to let him know why he's here.
And I'm not where I want to be. Like, those are big reasons, right? So I see actually have some depth behind this, and Nathan, I'll tell you firsthand that if you use those as pillars behind you as to why you need to lose weight, why you need to get down to the version of yourself where you want to be, it's gonna, it's gonna change a lot for you. And I've seen it firsthand. Jacob's helped our clients lose collectively thousands of pounds of weight, and seeing the joy on their face when they get down to their goal weights, there's nothing like it, right? And so it'd be a great fit. I think you would absolutely crush it. I think for you, it's not a matter of if you can get down to, 215. You're an athlete. Athletes have discipline. They know what they need to do, and it's just a matter of, like I said earlier, getting the right guidance from someone who's actually done what you're looking to do. So yeah, man, I'd love to have you on the team. What do you feel like you would need from a mentor to actually help you to where you want to go? For one, I definitely need a lot clearer direction. Knowing what workouts I should be hitting, how many times I should be working out, what food I should be eating, what calorie count I should be falling under. Basically, like
the reason why I'm asking him this question here, by the way, guys, is like, what do you feel like you would need from a mentor so that way you can get down to the weight that you want to get to? Is so that way I can understand what is most important for him, and then to emphasize those during the pitch before I drop price, so it feels like it's exactly what he needs.
For one, I definitely need a lot clearer direction. Knowing what workouts I should be hitting, how many times I should be working out, what food I should be eating, what calorie count I should be falling under. Basically, like the little things that give me a direction, so I know if I'm hitting that calorie count, I know I'm going to stick to it. That is the calorie count I'm following, not a oh well, is this the right number? If I'm too far under it, like just overthinking it. It's like, okay, I know this is the number. Don't overthink it. Just hit it. Just stick with that a little bit. See where that gets me. And for workouts, just having a workout split that's like, okay, this is from somebody who knows what they're doing. This is the workout split that's going to help. It's like, okay, at that point, it's not me wondering if I should skip this workout for a different one. It's just get it done. This needs to be done. Focus on putting my energy towards working out every time during the week, hitting those workouts, getting all the reps in. Not overthinking, am I hitting the right workouts? That would help out a lot. That would give me just the direction and much clarity of like, I know I'm taking action. I know I'm doing something. Just stick with it and focus on just being as consistent as possible. The blueprint, like a clear process that you can follow. That'd be really good too. Like a blueprint is one thing. I feel like, especially with what we just talked about like the limiting beliefs and stuff, I feel like maybe something on like mindset of like how to kind of rid those limiting beliefs or kind of get rid of those limiting beliefs and have the right beliefs to develop, not just get rid of the bad mindset, but like develop their mindsets. That way I can focus on those pillars, focus on those whys to make sure I'm not losing sight of why I'm doing it. So someone who can help you shift your mindset, hold you accountable. And when you're thinking the wrong way, just tell you, hey,
do you guys have any idea of why I'm asking him the level of accountability he's looking for, what he's looking for when he's looking for a coach? Any guesses as to why this is so important? Because he pretty much tells me he's looking for someone who's going to help him shift his mindset, hold him accountable, and tell him when he's saying the wrong things. Why is that important? Gracie, I saw you raise your hand.
Sorry. Wait, do you want to go? Because I didn't use the right thing there. I used my actual hand.
Okay.
But okay. So Amar, you made me second guess myself when you said it again. But at first you're kind of qualifying him to see if he's like serious about it. Mm-hmm. And then also you're holding him to the standards that he's setting for you. So you're like, he's setting them for you, saying this is what I need out of training. But while he's saying that, he's realizing that that's what he has to do in order to like succeed.
Exactly right. So if he's telling me he wants to have a mentor who's going to help him shift his mindset, that's going to help him hold himself accountable, and that's going to call out when he's getting in his own way, what do you think I'm going to do when he gives me an objection? I'm going to
call him out on it.
Yeah. I'm going to give him exactly what he asked for, and I'm going to call him out. I'm going to hold him accountable, and I'm going to help him shift his mindset. And I'm going to tell him, hey, dude, everybody loves the idea of accountability until they're actually held accountable, but this is what you asked for. So this is what I'm going to do for you, because this is a level of accountability that you're going to be getting when I'm pushing you to lose 50 pounds. Remember, every single question that you guys ask inside of your sales process, it has to have some sort of meaning behind it. There's not a single question I ask here that I don't know why I'm asking it. So someone who can help you shift your mindset, hold you accountable. And when you're thinking the wrong way, just tell you, hey, Nathan, this is the wrong way of thinking. I'm going to hold you accountable here, tell you what you need to think like. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool, man. And he just agrees. Now he's closed. This is where the close just happened. Well, yeah, man, I think it'd be a great fit. Do you want me to walk you through exactly what you get in the advanced coaching as part of Jacob's Inner Circle? And if you don't have any questions around that, I can walk you over the investment, how to get started. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to see it. Cool, man. So Jacob has a list of some specific things. So I'm going to skip past this because this is just actually pitching the program. We go down to price.
I'm curious here, Ummer, how long was your pitch for this program?
Usually doesn't go longer than 5 to 10 minutes. Usually about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I have a question about the pitch real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but so during your pitch, you said you were focusing on relaying back the information that he said was most important that he was looking for. So is that how you make your pitch?
So the pitch is just describing what we're selling. So in this case, we're selling fitness coaching. I'm walking him through the program and what he's actually getting. So the pitch is something that's going to be customized to what your offer is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Like ask by yourself. And then that's pretty much everything. We also have like a little added bonus / cherry on top, which is once you get down to your goal weight, Nathan, in your case, once you get down to 215, what we do is we will actually fly you out to California to our office. That's pretty much everything. Do you have any questions about the program itself?
Is the advanced coaching that you're talking about different from the program that he actually offers on Instagram? Is this like separate? Or are you talking about the same thing?
Yeah, it's separate. So pretty much
Okay.
The program that he offers on Instagram is the Fat Jack program. I think it's like 30 something bucks. Did you end up buying that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that's like a basic cookie cutter program. With that, there's not really any personalization to it or accountability. With the advanced,
Okay.
do you have any questions about that though, as far as the advanced coaching program that I just walked you through?
No, you.
So my question for you is like based on everything that I just walked you through, Nate, where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10 as far as us being able to help you? 1 being this is a train wreck, it's not gonna help me at all. 10 being sounds like and looks like exactly what I need to get down to 250. So now I'm doing it. This is the 1 to 10 is what's called a temp check. Okay, if they say anything less than an 8 or a 9, we need to address that because if you don't address it, that is going to come up as an objection. So we want to hear them say like, I feel confident that this is going to help me, and that's the only time that we pitch.
I'd say about like an 8 or 9 from everything I'm hearing. It's like having people that are one text away that I can actually talk to. That one would hold me accountable, but answer any questions that I have to the blueprint that I would need to follow through on things and actually feel confident and also have people I can talk to about like mindset and like I feel like it would change just the biggest 3 things that not only would it change and help me lose the weight, but it's also like change that mindset and how I see myself. It's that way it's like getting rid of the limiting beliefs. So it would just overall change my life. Yeah. I'm glad you like it, man. We put a lot of hard work into it. So man, well, you want me to walk you over the investment, talk to you about how to get started? Yeah.
Okay. So we've got a couple different options. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
Certainly.
Take notes on. Let me know.
Yes.
So we have a couple different options. Everything's tailored for each of our clients. Reason being is because we get people that are a lot heavier than you or sometimes a lot lighter than you, and they need a different amount of time. In your case, if you're looking to lose 50 pounds, it's not gonna be an overnight thing. So what I'm gonna offer you is our 6-month coaching program with Jacob, and I'm also gonna offer you the year-long coaching program with Jacob. So to help you go from where you are now, Nathan, which is 265, you're not the most confident in where you are. And you'll notice as I'm pitching him, I'm talking about where he is now and where he wants to go to get him into outcome-based thinking instead of thinking just about the price. This has been affecting your life, as far as like the quality of your life for the last 6 or 7 years, and it's affecting you in various ways. To getting you to the point where you're 215, you're the most confident version of yourself, and you are who you want to be going into 25 years old. For 6 months of coaching, it's $3,500. For 1 year of coaching, it's just $5K. So if you commit to a longer amount, it gets cheaper. Sure.
So the 6 month is 35K, or 3,500. A month is 5,000. Is there any difference for what the 6 to 12 month offers? Is it all the same?
It's the exact same, just more time.
Gotcha. Okay.
You notice how there's this awkward silence going on?
Bro, silent close.
It wasn't necessarily a silent close. It took a lot of work to get him to close, but this silence is him thinking about everything that we've talked about so far. Thinking about, okay, how much money do I have in my checking? How much money do I have in my savings? Should I give him an objection? Wait, I can't. Or, how much do I have in credit? Like he's thinking about all those things. And if I say something that is disrupting his thought process,
You lose.
yeah. So you want to stay silent until they actually say like yes or no, or they give you some sort of objection.
I know at the very least, the 6 months would be definitely worth the investment. I wouldn't have the money at this moment. I have some money saved aside, but I know my next paycheck is next week. It's a little, and I get paid a little less than weekly. I have to make a decision now, or am I able to like revisit this or pay like debt later?
This is where the sales call starts, by the way, guys. All the front end of it is just priming it. This is where it gets
Yeah.
fun.
It really depends, man. What do you feel like? What?
So like this is the value of like good sales training, by the way, though, is because a bad closer would just blame the lead and say like, oh, this is a bad lead. They didn't have any money. He doesn't get paid till next week. Okay, a good closer here, he identifies what's true and what's not, and he figures out a way that the prospect can actually get resourceful when he goes for the close.
I have some money saved aside, but I know when next paycheck's next week. Do I have to make a decision now, or am I able to like revisit this or pay like debt later down the line? It really depends, man. What do you feel like? What do you feel like would be the biggest barrier for you as far as getting started today? Having the money to put into the, at the very least, the 6-month program. Okay. Well, I guess the most important thing for me, Nathan, is that you actually feel like we can help you get where you want to go, right? Like if it's other things like finance and stuff, we've got ways to work around that. But
the reason why we ask this question is because sometimes it can be a smokescreen objection that they don't actually believe that the program is valuable. If you get a value objection, there's no closing the deal. So we got to assess the value and make sure they see the value first. Do you actually feel like we can help you get down to 215 with what we showed you in the vehicle that we provide? I do. I think that you'd be able to supply everything I need. So he says yes, that means it's not a value objection, so we're in the clear. Right now, we're just doing the process of elimination to find out what the actual objection is. And if, so basically, when you're out of the equation, this is something that you would do.
Yes.
Why would you do it? Like, what is your own personal reason of doing this? So now what I'm doing is I'm getting him to think about his pain again. He says he would do it. I'm asking him, why would he do it? What is your own personal reason of doing this?
In every way that I would be worried or nervous or like overthink what I'd be doing, you guys would be providing me resources and a reason to trust it and commit to it. So I wouldn't be overthinking my list. It would just be clear, just what I need to do, follow it. Meal plan, what I need to do, follow it. Somebody to help with mindset that I can talk to. Somebody to kind of like get everything. Outside of the features though, like what are your own personal reasons of doing something like this? Like why would you even want to hire someone like Jacob to help you down to 215? Outside of the program features. I've seen some other people online that I've like looked at and debated on reaching out to. It's the fact that he's done it himself. He's walked the walk. It hasn't been somebody that's just was skinny and then got bigger. I feel like he's one of the people that actually truly understands what it was like to be like very heavy, very obese, and then just lose it and just commit. So I feel confident in his program. I feel confident in his resources and what he provides. What about your own personal reason? Why would you commit to a fitness coaching program to help you down to 215? So this is the third time I'm asking him the same question because he's not giving me the answer I'm looking for. I want him to think about his own personal reasons of why he wants to lose weight, and I don't move on until he gives me the answer I'm looking for. I'm able to do it myself. I need help. Right. So we get him to admit I need the help, not I want the help. I need the help. Like I literally need this. That's exactly what we want to hear. I'm able to do it myself. I need help. I need it. So what I'm hearing, Nathan, is you feel like you need to do this and you want to do it. 2, you see Jacob as the right person to be able to help you with it. So it's not a matter of should I do it. It's just a matter of how can I do it and make it work. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So I'll tell you what, Nathan, if it comes down to the finances, like if that's the main thing that's holding you up from actually making a change, as far as committing to losing weight, I've got a bunch of ways where I can get creative and help you out with that, right? Reasoning being is like most people don't just have 4 or 5 grand later. And a lot of our clients are on payment plans. Just being okay. So if the finances is the main holder for you, I can help you with that. What I can't help you with, Nathan, is the willingness to change your mindset and the willingness to actually be the person who you need to be to get down to 215. So the idea of being 215, being confident, being able to have your quality of life drastically increase like you hadn't done before, is that something that you're actually committed to, or is that something that just sounds nice? Because if you're committed to that, I can help you start. But if you're not committed to that, I can't help you with that. Absolutely committed to it. What's your definition of commitment? My definition of commitment is when you know the why doesn't matter how. When you're committed to it, you have your why. You know that you gotta get it done. It doesn't matter what needs to be done. It's gonna happen. You will commit. You will get it done. I'm willing to commit to figure out a way to help you get started that today. If it's just down to the finances. So are you cool with having an open and honest conversation around your finances, just like cross the numbers and see what we need to do? Yeah. Okay, cool. So for your job right now, as far as your income, what are you bringing in right now, month to month? Right now, month to month. So now I'm going to run through an open wallet. Open wallet is pretty much getting his income, getting his expenses, finding out what he has in his savings, finding out his credit score, and figuring out a custom option to get him started. Okay. Right now, month but right around 2,800 average. 2,800. Okay. And what are your ballpark? What's your monthly expenses usually? I'm in a good spot. I'm living at home with my parents, so I have little monthly expenses. I'm saving up a lot of money right now for a car, but I have a car. Mine's just it's all got issues. But what you call it? Other than that, I'm not doing monthly expenses. Okay. So are you the 2,800 that you're making every month? How much of that are you spending usually? What I'm doing is I'm cutting in half, and I'm putting 1,600 in savings a month, and then I'm usually spending the others on my girlfriend gas. Gas has been a big spot for that. That and then yes, that's really been it. I haven't really been doing too much with my hours. Do you have that 1,400 buffer to work with at the end of every month? Close to. Okay. Okay. Now, to me, what it sounds like is like financially you're in a good spot. You make decent money, you live at home. Do you actually need a payment plan, or is it that it's just a little scary to put it down? Currently, So now I'm identifying. Okay, is this actually because we went over his open wallet? He says he's saving 1,400 a month, and he lives at home with his parents, so he doesn't really have a lot of expenses. So I'm like, okay, is this actually a money objection, or is this just a fear objection? So I'm going to try and clarify, because if it is a fear objection, I just try to fix it with a payment plan, that's not going to work, right? But if it's a money objection, I try to handle it with fear, that's also not going to work either. So we have to identify what is the actual objection. So after running through an open wallet, I'm like, okay, maybe this might not be a money objection.
And so I'm just going to clarify that as I go through.
Oh, literally this weekend, my car blew a tire.
Literally just by asking him, hey, is this the case where you actually need a payment plan to get started, or is it just scary to put it down? As simple as that to find out what the real objection is.
And it wasn't like something underneath on the tread, it was on the wall. And because my car's so old, I had to get it towed. I had the tires, no tire place. If I had a tire, I had to get it ordered. And that was something that was heavy, was getting the car towed to a place, getting a new tire, and paying for the tire on. So as of right now, other than the money I'm saving towards a newer car, I don't have as much, and I have to wait till my next paycheck to have more in my account that I could spend. So it's in the current moment, I have not a lot that I could actually put down on paying for the payment plan.
That makes sense. So it's just, you're in a good spot, but you're far broken, you got some other bills, so it would just be hard to put all that down in front. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we've got a bunch of different options. I know you have a 1,400 month buffer to work with. We can get you in for way less than that. If we can figure out a plan that works for you, are you ready to take the first step for change today and actually commit to being a better version of yourself?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm asking this question is because it's extremely important that we tie him down, because we've got his finances. He says he has a 1,400 a month buffer. I know for a fact that if his credit is good enough, we can get him started for less than that. The last thing I want, though, is to get him onto the financing screen and for him to say, I need to think about it. That's why I'm tying him down and I'm saying, hey, man, I'm like pretty sure that we can get you started for less than 1,400 a month. If that is the case, are you ready to take the first step towards change today? And he says, yeah. So you wanna tie him down as you go through the closing process. What would that need to be on a month-to-month basis to actually get you started today?
If I'm, how consistent would payments be? Are we talking monthly?
Every 30 days, yeah, month to month.
Every 30 days. Okay, if it was monthly, then higher than what I was thinking. So you pay bi-weekly, from get paid for a short time, and put it on your paycheck. That's really what. Like 750 a month.
Yeah, we've got ways to get you started for a couple $100 less than that. So
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, I can pop you over a link. Nathan, which one do you feel like if you made a decision today that you would be most happy with? 6 months or a year? How long do you want to commit to?
I feel like at the very least 6 months. I don't know if I'd be able to do the 12 months just because of how I'm financing.
Well, even the 12 month, we could get it down to like underneath your budget if you really want to do that. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. It's utterly mine. It's just whatever's best for you. So yeah, I can start with the 6 month. I'm gonna pop you over a link here in the chat. Are you on a computer or phone?
I'm on my phone.
Okay. There's a green button on the bottom that says share. Nathan. Can you go ahead and click? So this is him going through financing. I'm gonna skip through it because he puts in some of his personal information. And then let's skip down to the objection. So first, the affirm approves him, but it says he has to put down $520 today, and he says he only has like $200 in his account, which doesn't line up with what he was saying earlier. So I'm gonna skip down to when we actually get to the objection, but we figure out some logistical stuff. You go down.
Yeah, since I paid a lot of money out of pocket for the car, I'm like $200 right now to kind of get through till next week when I get my paycheck. So I wouldn't be able to make the initial payment, but I'd be able to still make like a consistent income to make payment.
So now what he's trying to do is he's like, let's just push on to another call and then I'll close then. Okay, if there's one thing about B2C guys is never let the prospect get off of the call without putting down a financial commitment because they will not show up on the next one. 90% of the time that is the case. So he's trying to get off of the call because that's the comfortable thing to do. Okay. Yeah, I can see if there's anything we can do around that. But I mean, you could be real patient. Earlier when you're making, $2,000 a month, you $1,400 a month aside as savings every month. Like, right. So he's telling me things that he only has 200, and well, it looks like Brian's drawing on the screen. I don't know if that's an accident. How do we turn that off? I don't know how, so we'll just leave that there. But he's telling me he puts 1,400 a month towards savings, but now he's saying he only has 200. So I just ask him, like, dude, shoot me straight. Like, what's going on? Right. So this is like how you actually get level with people and get them to be honest with you. Yeah, I can see if there's anything that we can do around that. But I mean, you can be real with me, Nathan. Earlier you told me you're making, $2,800 a month. You put 1,400 a month aside the savings every month. Like, is it actually that you genuinely don't have the 500 to start, or is it just scary? Because I get it. It's scary to take a step and invest into yourself. You can be honest with me.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest, yeah, it is a little scary. Sure, it's one of those things where like I'd be more comfortable knowing the price and try to put money aside money for it. But I can make the payments. Because I'm like 45 minutes away from work and my car's old and it takes a lot of money for gas. I spend a lot of money on gas to keep this thing running, and trying to go see my girlfriend and make time for her when I have like 45 hours while I'm working. I've spent a lot more money going out, saving money for concerts without going into the 50% of my paycheck I'm saving aside for a car. So it's.
You see what he's saying, guys? He's talking about gas money and concerts. Everything that we just talked about just flew out the window because he's overwhelmed with fear right now. He said it's a little bit scary. So now my job as the closer is to get him back into the cost of inaction and help him understand that the way that he's thinking right now is the exact reason that he's overweight. He's been prioritizing concerts, he's been prioritizing gas money, he's been prioritizing other people over his own health. So that is what I'm going to be trying to do right here.
Eating out
We
5
literally
times a week.
Yeah, exactly.
tickets to this concert, and then my car decided to pop the tire. So it was just a shitty situation. So as of right now, in my checkings, I don't have over $200, and I get paid Thursday next week. So
Savings.
my savings, 5,000.
Oh, this is a completely different conversation now. This isn't oh, I have $200 and that's dedicated for gas money. I don't have anything. This is hey, I've actually got 5 grand in my savings, but I would rather put that towards gas than investing into my health. So this is not a money objection. This is a fear objection, right? And this is what all the questions that I've been asking have been to identify, okay, is this actually a money objection or is this a fear objection? Because I just told him like, hey, dude, you can be honest with me. Like, we just went through an open wallet. You told me you're putting 1,400 a month towards savings. Right? Like something is adding up. You can be honest with me here. Is it like you actually don't have the money, or is it it's just a little bit scary? And he tells me it's just a little bit scary, meaning he has the money. This is the power of asking open wallet questions and getting down onto a real level with your prospects. Because if I never asked him like, hey dude, you can be honest with me, man. Like, what's actually going on? Because earlier you just told me that you're putting 1,400 a month towards savings, you have no bills. Like, is this actually that you don't have the money, or is it just scary? And then we find out the real objection that this is just fear. So you do have money, it's just about it's scary. Is that right?
Considering that I'm saving for other things too, as much as I am bought into the program and that it'd be worth the money, that's also like, God forbid, if before I get another tire, if anything's happened to my car, that's like that money. That's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not losing my job. I'm not coming to work, or I'm still able to make it to work because I can get my car fixed.
I get that. I mean, can I share a perspective with you on that? Kind of like I did earlier. Yeah. So, the hard thing, Nathan, is wanting to be at a certain spot, but making decisions based on where we are now instead of where we want to be, right? So kind of like the thing that I was talking about earlier, the version of yourself that is already at 215, he takes loss a little bit more seriously, and he makes the sacrifices that he needs to be able to. Now I'm bringing up the identity that he has to associate with to get down to 215, because the person who he is right now is not the same person that he's going to be when he gets down to 215. He has to become a different person. That is his first step. So that's what I'm coaching him through in this moment. To get this goal, he takes it serious, right? Because up till this point, we have really taken it that serious. Like, and then also like, your financial decisions that makes it are eating out 20 times a month. Even if you're spending $20 a meal, it's $400 a month. So the version of yourself who you are now, you're spending $400 a month on food, but you're not willing to sacrifice, just a couple extra hundred on your health. So for you, man, whenever I asked you earlier if your mindset plays a role on, bringing you to where you are now, and when I asked you if your mindset plays a role in the way that you make. This is the importance of asking what their limiting belief is and what's already kept them from taking action, because then you can bring it up here and say, hey, what did you say earlier that has kept you from actually taking action? And then he's going to bring it up and understand that, oh, it's happening again. And he's going to start to identify it and start to change.
Right. I feel like it's a little bit riskier to think like.
So for you, man, whenever I asked you earlier if your mindset plays a role on, bringing you to where you are now, and when I asked you if your mindset plays a role in the way that you make decisions, what did you say?
Those limiting beliefs were what's holding me back.
Yeah, but whenever I asked you like if your mindset plays a role on the way that you make decisions, did you say yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with where you're at?
Not very satisfied.
Yeah.
Say like 3 or lower.
Yeah. And in your mind, what does a 10 look like?
Yeah, just mayo for me.
10. That'd be having a job that I love, be able to commit to hobby, a lifestyle that I love.
Yeah.
Having the time, the resources for everything I
Now we're firing ammunition back. Okay, this is why it's important to gather ammo.
want to do in life.
Yeah. And I'm on your team here, bro. While I'm asking these questions, I'm just giving you accountability because I know that's what you asked for. So. Why am I saying that? I'm giving you the accountability that you asked for. There's a science to this, guys. And I'm on your team here, bro. While I'm asking these questions, I'm just giving you accountability because I know that's what you asked for. So if you truly do mean that, you need people to hold you accountable and you need someone that's going to challenge your mindset when your mindset is not right, like this is just a little taste of what the actual program is going to look like as far as accountability. So the thing is, Nathan, you said that you're not that satisfied with, where you're from. Give that a number. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with where you're at? 2. Okay. So my question for you, Nathan, is like, how much longer do you want to let the mindset that's kept you out of 2 out of 10 keep you out of 2 out of 10? Valuing fast. Don't matter over things that actually matter. What happens then?
I keep going down that path that I don't want to go on.
Okay. So now I'm just asking him what happens if you continue. It kind of cut out on the recording for some reason, but I'm asking him, how much longer do you want to let the mindset that's gotten you to a 2 out of 10 keep you stuck at a 2 out of 10? Okay, what happens if you stick with that way of thinking? What eventually ends up happening then? And I'm asking him, what's the bigger risk? It actually matter. What happens then?
I keep going down that path that I don't want to go on.
Okay. So Nathan, and this is why discovery is important, is because you can't get a prospect to be this vulnerable and have this much internal pressure if you don't get it out during discovery, right? So you have to have a good discovery, and that's the only way that objection handling actually works. What's the bigger risk? Is it continue to stick with the mindset that you have now, or is it, figuring out a way to make sacrifices, budget in other areas like fast food, and actually be committed
and make the decision that the version of you who's already 215 is going to do? What's riskier? Risk. The risk is the, what's the word? I'm not asking the risk, right? I'm asking what's riskier. Is it riskier to continue the same way? Is it riskier to continue with the same way of thinking that you have now and not do anything about it? Or is it riskier to, make the sacrifices that you haven't made for the last 7 years, like budgeting on your food and investing into a weight loss coach? So is it riskier to continue thinking with the mindset you have now, or starting to think like the version of yourself you need to be and doing what it takes to lose weight? I'll be completely transparent with you. You can just check me on it if I'm not, if this ain't right. I feel like it's a little bit riskier to think like I am 215 if it means putting myself in a position where the money that I do have saved up is used towards that plan and something unexpected happens and then I can't afford it. It's about touching the money that you already have, right? We're not even asking you for all of it. It's about making a budget as far as, the money that you're going to spend on fast food, just don't spend it on fast food because it's only making your situation worse. Take that extra, $200 or $400 you're spending a month and invest it into somewhere that's something that's actually going to help you closer to your goal. So it's about, what are you actually committed to? Because the version of yourself that, who you are now, he's more committed to saving $300 or $400 a month. That way he can, buy a car. But the version of yourself that's 215, he's okay with driving a crappy car for a little bit longer because he's been living in a crappy body for the last 7 years that he's not been committed to. And he values a better.
So I'm being like super direct with this guy. And I'm like, you could either like live in a crappy body and have a nicer car, or you could have a crappy car and have a nicer, like, I'm just like indirectly.
You're still on his side though.
Yeah, I'm still on his side though, but he can take it because I've been challenging him all the way up till this point. Right. And so that's why he's receptive to it.
Mm-hmm.
15, he's okay with driving a crappy car for a little bit longer because he's been living in a crappy body for the last 7 years that he's not been committed to. And he values a better body over a better car. So my question for you is like, what are you actually committed to? Is it, having a, tastier meal 5 times a week, or is it, being 215 and being confident? And
when you put it that way, right, then it actually hits him. Do you value having yummier food right now that's going to eventually end up to you gaining more weight, or do you actually value your health and getting down to 215, which by the way, you haven't done for the last 7 years? When you put it that way, then it clicks.
Being the guy that you want to be, that you haven't been able to be for the last 7 years. All right. It makes more sense.
It makes more sense. I wonder why.
Which one are you more committed to? I'm going to be 215. You want to be, right? But are you actually committed to that? Because I know earlier whenever I asked you what's your definition of commitment, you said it's doing whatever it takes necessary to be able to be like.
Why do you guys think I asked him his definition of commitment earlier? So I could do this right here.
Right here, yeah.
Yeah, I am committed to that. Oh yeah, but when you said your definition of commitment earlier, you said doing whatever it takes. So are you actually committed? That's the reason why I'm asking these questions, because I'm thinking about later in the call.
That is doing whatever it takes necessary to be able to be the guy that you want. So now's the time to see if you're actually committed, right? So are you actually committed to being that guy? Here's my thought process. All that money, it doesn't only go to fast food. It's my ability to see my girlfriend play stuff because we're not living together and we're not long distance, but it's like 45-minute drive to try and make things work. She's not the best situation financially either. So it's paying to make sure that we're both able to see each other each week and actually do something. And I value my relationship with her a lot. It's something that, as much as I want this, I don't want to take away my chances to see her because I already see her so little and we've been together for almost 3 years. Yeah. How's your girlfriend? So I feel like I'm being put in a situation of I can do this. I'd be happier sure with this. Yeah. But also my relationship with her would suffer. Of course. And so I want to be in a situation where I could achieve this. I'm not sacrificing my resources from relationship to do it. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. And I do understand that, right? Because I just got married 3 weeks ago.
I took this call like 3 weeks after I got married because I was on my honeymoon. I took off for like 2 weeks, but that's what I'm telling him. I was like, dude, I get that. I just got married 3 weeks ago. Like, I understand the value of a relationship.
I'm not sacrificing my resources from relationship to do it. Yeah, I get that, man. I get that. And I do understand that, right? Because I just got married 3 weeks ago. The value of relationships. But I'm going to try my best to hold you accountable, right? Because as a coach, as being part of the coaching program, I wouldn't be a good coach if I let you limitingly feel that way, right? So your limiting belief right now says that if you do commit to $200 a month, that you're not going to be able to see your girlfriend, right? My question for you is like, first off, it's not $500 a month. It's $500 down today and then $200 later. That's just a financial piece. So I'm going to put that aside for a little bit. Your main priority is valuing your relationship with your girlfriend, right? Is respecting her like for the time that she deserves. That way you guys can continue the relationship that you've had for the last 3 years, right? Which one means respecting her more? Is it, seeing her how much you're seeing her now, or maybe seeing her 1 time less a week, or 1 time or 2 times less a month, but at the end of the day being 215? So does it mean more to respect her by just continuing to see her as the version of yourself you are now, or is it making temporary sacrifices so that way you can get down to 215 and be the best version of yourself possible for her? Because I'm married, dude.
You see what I did there?
Boom.
He's trying to give me the objection of like, oh, that's gas money that I used to go see my girlfriend. I need to respect our relationship. And I'm like, well, no, dude, your perspective of respecting your relationship here is totally skewed. Do you think your girlfriend would rather have you show up 1 more time per week and you're 50 pounds overweight? Or do you think that the best way that you have of respecting your relationship with your girlfriend is by maybe seeing her less, prioritizing your health, so that way you can be the best version possible of yourself for her? which one's actually the better form of respect here? And so I have to reframe his mindset on what's actually, you know, the utmost level of love and respect here. I just got married like a month ago, and I'll tell you firsthand, the best way that you can value your partner and the best way that you can love your partner is by loving yourself first. If you don't love yourself enough to take care of your body, right, you're not gonna be able to love your partner to the full capability they should be able to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not about, if I commit to $200 a month, I'm not gonna be able to see her at all. Because me and you both know if you spend $200 a month on coaching, that's not gonna not allow you to see your girlfriend. You have $1,400 a month that you're gonna set aside. It's about if you're actually committed and if you're actually willing to change the way of thinking that you've had for the last 7 years. Because I get it, man. I'm not like pooping on you for not, like, it's scary. I get it. I take these calls all the time. Change is scary. Commitment is scary. But the reality is if you don't step out of your comfort zone, you're never gonna make growth. Growth never happens in place of comfort. Growth only happens in place of uncomfort. So if you want to be the version of yourself who you've never been before, you have to do things that you've never done before. So it's just like if you're actually committed to that. Because actions speak louder than words, right? You can say you're committed. And you can say, like, I'm tired of this stuff that I've been doing for the last 7 years. And I'm tired of being 265. And I'm tired of not being able to go out on social events. I'm tired of being insecure. And I'm tired of this. Notice I'm bringing it up all over again. Just everything that he's saying, I'm just firing it right back at him. The reality is that, if you don't do anything about it, that doesn't actually mean that you're tired about it. So, like, question for you, like, Nathan, man to man. I know you said you're committed, but are you actually committed and willing to make the sacrifices necessary to be the version of yourself 50-15? And by the way, guys, like, me firing this all back at him is not to get at him. It is my best interest to push him to the highest standard possible so that way it can benefit his life. Because I know if I let him get off of the phone and he doesn't close, he's just going to go up to 300 pounds and live a crappy life. I care about him way too much to let him do that. This is coming out of a good place. And this is why he
Form of love.
Because, yeah, just like Sean said, it's a form of love because he can tell that I actually care. And willing to make the sacrifices necessary to be the version of yourself 50-50.
Man to man, my plan was to continue being full time at my job to try and save money to pay for things, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about that. I get very worried about money because I've had a couple other things that has made I had a lot of money and then a huge accident and I'm paying a lot of shit out of pocket. But so I get a little nervous when it comes to only for my savings. Honestly, might make me think maybe I reached out at a bad time, so it would have been better if I saved the money first so I could make the payments.
Now he's trying to give me a timing objection. He's giving me everything in the book. Money, my girlfriend, I got to save for gas money, and maybe I should reach out later. Like, he's giving me everything.
Car, because it's a 99 GMC Jimmy. The tire that popped, or the side thing that popped,
my truck's tire popped, another one might pop, and then I'm screwed. Like, he's pulling up every excuse possible.
Wheels haven't been changed for over a decade. I'm just worried about it. I'm worried about when the next accident's going to be, and knowing that I have something in there for something serious, so I can at least take care of it, or sometime soon I can actually get a new car is big for me, because that thing's been sucking a lot of money out of my pocket.
So is it under just the money?
Yeah, I would feel like everything, but
you actually just like what's your actual budget? Where if we could figure out a way to get started, that you could actually take the first step for change.
I think it's 100 months. 200 going to the car.
So now we go back over some financing things to try and figure out a way to lower his payment. We get onto the checkout page. And now we get the payment down to $200 a month by extending the loan term a little bit. And then he pulls this up. Man, I've lost weight. I'm down to 215. I've lost 50 pounds. This is great. In 6 months, you only pay like around $120 in interest, and then you just pay off the rest. And it doesn't. Then you would avoid like $400 in interest. So if you paid it off in 6 months from now, you would only pay like around $119 in interest.
I think this sort of question pull money in my savings.
You said you got 200 or so in your checking, right?
Yeah, I'm going to need to get gas this week.
I need to get gas this week. I can't afford to put the 200 down today, bro.
Get through Thursday.
Are you gonna let a gas tank keep you from making the change? I'll just shoot him super straight. Dude, are you gonna let a gas tank keep you from making a change you desperately need in your life? And so now it's turned from like coaching a little bit to like little broing this guy. Like, dude, get your head on straight. What are you saying? And keep in mind, I can only do this because I've held a strong frame throughout the entire call.
That you need to. Dude, when is this car? Shit. It makes me wonder if I need to do something about my car before I can get this program. Just because if that's the seriously what's getting me this talk about it. Even those payment plans are like, here's the thing, I'm going to try my best to hold you accountable and give you some advice. And it's up to you. Okay. I've taken over 3,000 of these calls. And I'll tell you what, the people that are actually committed to making a change, they will sacrifice so much, right? I've had people that have sold like their secondary car, or they've sold furniture in their house because they want to make a change that bad. And those people don't actually are committed. And then there's also people that when it comes time to actually take a step and be committed to taking action and getting out of their old way of thinking, they'll think of every possible excuse. I don't doubt that your car is broken, but if it comes down to, like a gas tank being the reason why you continue to stay 265, because we came to the conclusion that you can't do it yourself. You know that you've had this mindset, maybe that you can't do it yourself, and you've brought up these excuses in the past. And that's the reason why you stayed at 265. If you're actually committed to it, the people that actually go through this program and say they get down to their goal weight of 200 or underneath that, they go from literally like 430 pounds down to 350 or 200 or so. The ones that actually lose the weight, they actually do what's necessary to be able to make the change. The ones that don't, they never get anywhere. So it's like, if me holding you accountable here to make the right decision to, sacrifice a gas tank to help you get started, and that's the thing that's holding you up, how do you expect us to coach you through building out a custom meal plan, getting in the gym 3 times a week, and holding you accountable in so many areas if the first step is a big struggle for you? And I'm just trying my best to hold you accountable. Do you get where I'm coming from? Yeah. So the reality is if you're actually committed to it, you won't let a gas tank get in the way. So at this point, the question is like, are you committed or are you gonna let a gas tank get in the way? Because if you truly are tired of being 265 and you want to be the best version of yourself for you, for your girlfriend, and you want to step into 25, that's not the fat guy, not the version of yourself who you don't want to be, then you won't let a gas tank get in the way. And if you want accountability, this is the first step of accountability. And this is what the first accountable action is going to look like. Yeah. Because the idea of accountability sounds nice to everybody until they're actually being held accountable. And this is where it's the damn truth.
See, now he's getting it. He's like, ain't that the damn truth? He's getting it, right? He's responding to the kicking that's going on right now.
Sorry. But with my payment plan, not payment plan, fucking my income, realistically, I can do it. I'm overthinking it. As long as it's a good guess, I still see my girlfriend. I'm just not putting my money down towards fast food. It's better. That
You notice how he's saying like 2 words and he's taking 5 seconds to he's thinking about everything I'm saying and it's working.
and also the tickets that I got recently in the car is the reason why I'm struggling in this moment. That doesn't mean I'm going to be struggling next week. My thing is, I'm being honest, being clearly accountable. It's a little bit more scary than I thought it was. It makes perfect sense. Then the fucking gas tank get in the way. We hold them accountable. And honestly told that, but it's something I needed to hear.
But this is the ultimate form of service, by the way, guys. You notice what he just said right here? It kind of hurts to be told that, but it's something I needed to hear. This is the power of pushing people to be the best version of themselves that they can be, because if he didn't hear that, no one else in his life loves him as much as I just loved him in this moment. Nobody has told him the things that I told him in this moment. And it's because it hurts. It's not easy to say those things to people. His mother, his father, his brother, his sister, his friends have never told him, hey, dude, you need to stop making decisions like a fat person. You need to stop having this way of thinking. You need to stop having all these excuses. And he told me it hurts to hear that, but it's something I definitely needed to hear.
Make perfect sense. Then the fucking gas tank get in the way. We hold them accountable. I honestly be told that, but it's something I needed to hear. Glad you're realizing that, man. I still have a lot more room left to use to steer and do everything. I really am just making excuses.
And he'd missed himself. I really am just making excuses now.
Okay. I'm gonna go into my bank app, transfer some money from my savings and my checkings. I'm gonna do the 167 per month. Let's get this thing on the road, dude. Proud of you.
Boom, closed. And then he just goes through financing and he closes. Okay. That is what a textbook call looks like from the front to back. Like, here's the problem is that like a lot of closers nowadays will never push someone to that point. So that's also the reason why a lot of closers don't make money, right? They can't have the hard conversation. 9 out of 10 closers would have gave up 2 objections in. I need to think about it. I should have probably just waited until I'm in a better spot and they would have set up a follow-up call 2 months from now and the guy would have never showed up and closed. Okay, now because I pushed him, this was a year ago. I'd actually be really curious to reach back out to him. He's probably down to 200 now. He's probably down to 190.
Yeah, where's Nathan at now? I want to know.
Yeah, I'll reach back out to him. But he needed to be pushed that hard. And that is how that is the power of a good discovery with a good pre-handle, with a good frame, where they really respect you and trust you to lead them. with a good level of accountability towards the close. So that's how you can serve people and also make $500 in an hour doing that. Right. So I'll open up the room. What are some questions you guys had about that call, or any statements you guys want to make?
I got a statement.
Yeah.
Just as it's interesting listening to you, I automatically had like certain interjections I wanted to make, but I'm like, nope, nope, nope. The whole point is to really learn the program, because that actually what you did actually encompassed exactly what the program's about.
Yeah.
And the other part too that made me think about it, if you're working for a company or working for this sales coach guy, you got to be just like him.
Yep.
Because the whole point is you're selling, I don't like that word, but selling his program. So you're the front line. You're the front line. So if you're not anything close to that guy that's doing the program, you it's pointless.
Yeah.
And you encompass that fully. Like, I mean, like he's going from you right to the coaching program, and he's just on his way. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because if he was giving me BS excuses about why he can't make the time necessary, the money necessary to lose weight, and if I didn't hold him accountable at all, what is he going to think of the coach inside the program? He's probably going to be the same,
yeah,
right? The reason why he closed is because I held him so accountable that he's like, dude, I need this in my life. This is probably what the program is like on the inside too. And I said that to him multiple times. I said,
oh yeah,
everybody loves the idea of accountability until they're actually held accountable, but this is what it looks like.
yeah.
Right.
It's
So
hard though.
great
It's
notice.
hard to do what to stick with the script in the sense of, because you want to. There's so many times I want to say something like, "Well, dude, you're the one that called," you know. So to bring, but no, I get it.
Mhm.
Wow. All right, that's all.
Yeah, that was, and also I want to piggyback off of what he said too. My question was like, how, because I know at least for me, if I'm dealing with a prospect that obviously I know the right choice that they should make, but they're not seeing it. Like, how do you keep a composure where you're not like, because I feel like I would kind of start being emotional about it too. Like, bro, like what's going on? Like, I think I could see my empathetic side coming out. So how do you like kind of keep that
Lit on
demeanor
it.
of like not letting it stir you up?
Not start
You know?
yelling at him. um, I think it comes from, like, I talk about this inside of phase 3, but having this level of resolve certainty that you've done it so many times, you've helped so many other people just like him, that it's like it's silly for him to walk away. And also it's like it becomes easy because if you're doing a good job of discovery, the internal pressure that you're building up does a lot of the work. Right? He could have easily, like, everybody look at their screen. Do you see the bottom right corner where it says hang up if you're on a laptop, or if you click on your screen it says leave meeting? That button was there the entire time. He could have, whenever I was challenging him and asking him hard questions, he could have just clicked on the screen and hung up. We're on Zoom. Right? He didn't though. And he stayed on, and he wanted to be pushed. He wanted to be held accountable. He wanted to be challenged because he knew that that red button, that if he just clicked on that, the reality of what he was walking towards was being 300 pounds in the future and being depressed. Right? So the internal pressure does a lot of the work. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of times, like whenever I'm on a call, like your last piece of feedback for me was not to be so direct about what I'm trying to get out and learn how to ask softer questions. Obviously, you need to know like where you're trying to guide the conversation towards. How do you just know what to say in order to like, extend your hand out and kind of guide them along the path of, the end point that you're trying to get them to?
Thousands of calls, reps. You get in the repetitions, man. Like I mean, I could tell you, like, give you some fancy schmancy answer of like, how do you know what to say? It's literally just obsessing over the scripting of, like, if I were you, dude, if you want to get to that level to where you can hear an objection and you know exactly what to do, just obsess over the objection handling stuff. And you start to understand, like, when someone says this, what does it mean? How do I handle that? So it's just repetition.
Yeah. Okay. So just the repetition and, pre-framing.
Yeah, just drowning yourself in the material. That's all it is.
Okay.
If I can real quick too, like the the setter call that we're drilling Jesse's different than the closer call that he was just on, right, Ummer? So like he has a little more ability, and he was on the call for like 45 minutes at that point. Like he was past that,
Yeah.
like holding his hand, you know.
Yep. Yeah. Josh, you got a question, my man?
Sorry, I logged out on accident. No, I think what I really do appreciate was just building the value. That's the thing that I even try with what I'm doing. But every time it was a money issue, I've always learned it's rarely ever about like it's rarely ever about the fact that they don't have cash, but because people find a way to pay for something that they care, that they value. And I really like how you kept drilling that in. So I was just noticing that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Real quick too, all I can think about when you're on that call is like you're changing his thinking, like his thought process. And 2 Corinthians 10:4, it's the weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds. So like he had this stronghold in his mind of like the way that he was thinking was like this guy that weighs 265, and you're literally like through the love of Jesus, like tearing that thought process down and giving him another way to think, which, dude, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And
And
you got
that's
way
why I
more
always
resolve than I
say,
would have.
yeah, that's why I always say the best way to sell to people is just by caring for them.
Yeah.
Right. You can't push people that hard if you don't care for them, or else you just come off as a douchebag. He knew I was doing that out of love, though.
You were on side the whole time.
So yeah, that's called identity-based selling, guys. Is you sell an identity to them, you label them into an identity. So it's like, what is the identity that's gotten you to where you are today? What has been the limiting beliefs that have gotten you there? And what identity do you need to identify in if you want to get somewhere else? So you just box them into that at the end of the call.
Thank you for
Sweet.
sharing.
Of course. All right. Cool. Any last questions, statements before we wrap up? Marcos, I know you had a Loom video. I think we have another one. I will just give you guys a piece of feedback over DM since we're up out of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right.
Thanks.
Cool, guys. Solid group call. That was a really good call. I'm going to plug it into the course, actually.
Nothing yet, only with kids, but who knows?
Unmuted mics. Anyways, solid group call, guys. Hope you guys all have a awesome weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. God bless.
Likewise.
No.
Yeah,
Peace
take care.
out.
Guys.
Bye-bye.